Did you know that you can make the media in nodes in Fusion show you the thumbnails of your source footage? Well, you can, and I'm about to show you how to do that, plus 4 other pretty cool Fusion page tricks. Let's get started. Okay, let's dive in with trick number 1, which is sending mattes to the color page. By default, the media out node in the Fusion page sends your final composite back to the edit page, which is fine. But what happens if you're working on a composite and you want to use the color page to better match a foreground element to the background? Well, that's exactly what I have here. I've already keyed out my actor and placed it on the background footage, but the two don't match at all. And while I could use a color corrector node or brightness contrast node to fix it, the color page has plenty of powerful tools that will give me a much better result. But here's the question: how do we send only one part of a Fusion composition to the color page so the work we do doesn't affect the background? It's actually pretty easy. First, we'll add a second media out node to our node graph. Then we'll take the output of our delta keyer and connect it to the input of our new media out node. Now, the reason why we're doing this is because while the first media out node sends our final composite to the edit page, any additional media out nodes will go to the color page. And since all we've connected to that media out node is the keyed out actor, that's the only thing that's being sent to the color page. Well, almost. Let's head over to the color page and finish setting things up. First, we'll right-click on an empty area in our node graph and select Add Source. Then we'll connect the new source to the key input of our first node. Doing this will limit anything we do in the color page to the mask we created in the Fusion page, allowing us to tweak the color of our actor without affecting the background. Okay, moving on, let's talk about how to make your media in node show the thumbnails of your source footage. This one is pretty easy. Just right-click in an empty area of your node graph and select Force Source Tile Pictures. Now, anytime you add a new media source to your composition, you'll get little thumbnails. And by the way, when I say media source, I don't just mean footage and images. Titles, backgrounds, and even 3D models will have thumbnails too. Oh, and if you want those thumbnails to be there by default, just go to Fusion in the top menu and select Fusion Settings. Then in the Flow menu, choose Source Tile Pictures. Up next, another easy one, pixel values. Let me explain. By default, whenever you use the transform node to adjust the position of something, it's done using X and Y coordinates, which is a pretty easy system to understand, but it can cause problems when you're working with scrolling text or animating graphics. It's just not as smooth as it should be. One of the steps to fixing this is to convert to pixel values so that the element you're animating can move full pixels each frame. To do this, with your transform node selected, go to the reference size section in the inspector and enable auto resolution. This will automatically detect your frame size and change all of your X and Y values to pixels. From there, you can keyframe based on whole pixel values, making for smoother motion. The problem is, in order to do this, you kind of need to keyframe each frame in your composition, which can take a really long time, and it's really boring, which brings me to my next little tip: looping keyframes, which is a huge time saver. First, with our transform node selected and auto resolution enabled in the inspector, we'll set our first position at frame 0. Make sure that your X and Y values are a whole number and set a keyframe. Next, we'll move 1 frame forward and advance our position by 2 or 3 pixels, which will automatically set a second keyframe. From there, open your spline window, enable the checkboxes for your transform node, and press zoom to fit. Select your keyframes, then in the bottom of your splines window, click set relative. This will automatically loop your first 2 keyframes so the text moves in whole pixels throughout your clip. Huge time saver, super easy, and the motion will be a lot smoother. Okay, last one, point of view copying. Let me explain. Anyone who works with 3D in the Fusion page knows that positioning a 3D camera can sometimes be, well, let's just go with annoying. Luckily, there's a way to automatically position 3D cameras using the perspective view tool. First, without a camera attached, frame your composition in your viewer, then bring in your camera. From there, right-click on the perspective icon in the bottom left of your viewer and make sure that it's set to perspective. Then, right-click again, choose Copy POV to, and choose your 3D camera. Then right-click the perspective icon one more time and switch from perspective to your 3D camera. Now your 3D camera is positioned where you want it, and you didn't have to touch the transform tools at all. Okay, now that we've gone through all that, do me a favor, go check out this video right here to learn about some super important tools in Fusion, and until next time, don't forget to go out and make stuff. Thanks for watching. Oh, it's 4 a.m. I'm super tired, but gotta get this video done, so let's get started. Boop, boop.